down below the dams, in the rivers, below the lake. What's down there that makes some dynamite fish bait? Good morning, guys and girls. November 15, Hebrews. That's right, he sure does. Hebrews 12:25. So be careful and do not refuse to listen when God speaks. Well, now, I mean, God's God. It seems like everybody's going to listen when God speaks. But you're telling us here in Hebrews 12:25, be careful, do not refuse to listen, because many times, honestly, we don't. We don't listen when God speaks. He's the warning here, do not refuse to listen when God speaks. Here's what I wrote about that. I've always believed that we would one day have an underwater speaker, perhaps attached to our trolling motor, that would transmit sounds under the water to help us trigger strikes. Maybe we could talk to the fish using the sound of active shad or schooling bass. I'm actually using such a unit right now called Biosonics, and I've had some pretty positive results. Remember, I wrote the Catch of the Day book back in 2005. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the Catch of the Day channel, hit that subscribe button right now. If you are subscribed, share it with 10 or 15 of your friends and ask them to subscribe, because it'll change their life. We were using that Biosonics back then, and it just kind of was an early thing. We were doing a lot of testing with it. That became a hydrowave. A hydrowave is what that unit is called now. It's made by TNH Marine. I've got one on every one of my boats, and it works remarkably well. The speaker is on the trolling motor. It's got the sounds of schooling shad. It's got the sounds of schooling bass, of active shad. It's got several different sounds on there. If I'm fishing and I'm not getting any bites, I'll turn that thing on. If I've got it on and I'm fishing, I got it on and I'm not getting any bites, I'll turn it off. and vice versa. But it more often than not, and I'll tell you where it really works good a lot of times, is when you're fishing out and the things get sort of dead. You know, it just sort of gets dead. When that happens, you can turn that hydrowave on, or turn it up, or to more power, or turn it to a different sound, and you'll see some activity starting in the water. Shad start moving around, some minnows start moving around. That sound down in the water will start producing a little activity in the fish, which is just exactly what it's meant to produce. And that's one place where it really, really works well. Most of the tournament fishermen simply turn it on and leave it on all the time. Is God talking to his people today? 2021. Is God talking to his people today? Absolutely, the answer is yes. Does he talk to each of us individually? Does God talk to you? Does God talk to me? Again, the answer is yes. Listen to me. During my most trying and difficult situations, my God has always been there. He talks to me all the time. He talks to me as I pray. He talks to me as I listen to sermons. He talks to me when I read his word. He talks to me when I worship him. And he talks to me through music. I listen to a lot of Christian music. Christian music fires me up. I listen to Christian music. I'm driving down the road, I got my hands in the air, you know, and praising God, and just amazing. He's given me answers when he talks to me. He's given me reasons as to why something's happening at that certain time. And most of all, he's given me comfort. He's given me peace. He's given me joy through the circumstances that I might be facing. Honestly, I could not make it without him. I'd have sliced my wrist a long time ago. Trust me, God will speak. God will speak. You just listen. You listen. God will give you wisdom, a spiritual wisdom that is absolutely priceless. You can't put a price tag on spiritual wisdom, because it will do amazing things in your life. Here's our tip for today. Down below the dam, on the lakes, down below the dam, shad. That's right. Catch shad below dams for great catfish bait. You know, you can bait up a trot line with shad, you know, where you kind of worm them on. You can dine with, you don't need live shad, just dead shad, where you kind of worm them on. You can go back and you will be amazed at how many catfish you have percentage-wise per hook. You know, a lot of times you have a 100-hook trot line out there. If you catch 3 or 4 fish on it, that's pretty good. You bait it with shad. You bait it with catalpa worms. Some of you know what a catalpa worm is. Most of the catalpa trees now don't have worms on them. We got insecticide, keep them off. Great fish bait though. You go back and you're going to look down there, and every time you take a catfish off, there's going to be another one, 2 or 3 hooks down. And that's the way we want it. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.